Hey everyone, Sparks back with another Goddess Victory Nikke video, and we are talking about another ReZero collab unit, Ram. Now, Ram is going to be our free handout unit, so we're going to get her just by participating in the ReZero collaboration event, completing missions. We get extra copies. We will be able to get that full max limit break for free. Now, she is an SR character, so any brand new players, just know that's like the lower level of rarity. So just her base stats are not going to be as strong as the other collaboration units. But, you know, as a new player, she may still be useful. So let's take a look at what she can do and if she can even fill a niche potentially for high level accounts. So she is a defender type. Amelia was an attacker, and Rem is a support. So we're getting all three types of units here represented. She's a burst 1. Again, now we're getting all three bursts represented. Amelia was a burst 3, Rem was a burst 2, now Ram is a burst 1. She uses a sniper rifle, and she is the only wind code unit. So the other two were water. Wind, if you're familiar with ReZero's lore, definitely makes a lot of sense for her. And now let's see what her skills do. So skill 1 is Fura activates after landing 5 normal attacks, affects the target, attack down by 7.9% for 5 seconds. This is a decent way of getting some more survivability. Decreasing the target's attack is definitely more effective than increasing your own defense. So, you know, something that we might expect to see from a defender. This isn't like blowing me away at all. She's a win. Get it? Blow? All right. I don't know. I didn't even mean to make that pun, but I had to point it out after I did. Anyway, that's fine. It does have a second part, activates when full burst ends with an ally from the same squad still on the battlefield. Effect self cooldown for burst skill down 20 seconds. Okay, so there's a lot to explain here. So if you're brand new, what it means by an ally from the same squad is basically whatever squad they're attached to. We can see it up here at the top. It says Amelia's faction right next to her name there. And so all of these collab units are going to be from Amelia's faction. That's what it means by the same squad. Not like just you built a unit, a squad of 5 units, now they're on the same squad. So they have to actually be from the same named squad like that. So we've seen other examples of this. Like one I can think of is the bunnies. So Blanc and Noir work together to reduce Blanc's cooldown because they are on the same squad. I think it's called like Lucky number 7 or 777 or something like that. So they work like that. This is really important because Ram has a 40-second cooldown. So as a 40-second cooldown, it means you would need to run a second burst 1 in order to be able to stay on rotation if you weren't using her with another unit from the same squad, particularly Amelia. So it says when full burst ends with an ally from the same squad. So it needs to be your burst 3. So Ram actually doesn't help here, which is kind of weird because you'd think Rem and Ram in particular would go together, but you need to play her with Amelia to be able to get that burst cooldown. Now, if you do, it makes her a 20-second cooldown, and you can run her as your only burst 1. So yeah, that's interesting. Whenever we see paired units together, it is always kind of like an interesting thing to see here. But let's see what her skill 2 does. This is an active skill that just happens automatically every 15 seconds, and it affects self, and her max HP goes up by 40% without restoring HP for 10 seconds. So basically just that max HP goes up, but she doesn't actually heal at all. And then it affects 2 allies with the lowest remaining HP. Defense goes up by 11% of the caster's defense for 5 seconds. Now, as a defender, she will have a high defense stat, but also she's an SR, so it's still going to be low relative to what an SSR defender would be. And as I mentioned before, defense is not really a good way of increasing your survivability. Her first skill, where she decreases the target's attack, is actually going to be a lot better for this. So this is honestly kind of a bad skill. I don't really see this being very good. It's just defense in general isn't that great. and you're just like not doing a whole lot here. But let's see what her burst does. Maybe this will redeem her. It's Don't Bother Ram. Affects all allies. Generates a shield with 10% of the caster's final max HP for 10 seconds. Okay, so this is by far her most useful skill. Shields are quite useful in Nikke in general. We've seen that way back at launch with Senti. Another really useful shield unit is Tia. Some other shields have been used in the past with like Folkwang and Arya. Shields are great because they will completely negate damage that is like a single hit. So if the boss does one massive hit, no matter how much damage it would do, the shield will take all of it. Now, if it's a continuous shot or like a bunch of little shots, then your shield isn't as useful, but there's still a lot of situations where you can make good use of shields like this. It could also be a fairly strong shield that could stand up to quite a bit of things because it does make it the caster's final max HP. So there's where her second skill is coming in to help, right? Because she's giving herself that big 40% HP bonus, increasing the max HP to increase the power of her shield. Still, overall, Ram doesn't look super great. I mean, this is to be expected from a free unit, particularly a free SR unit. I will say she's useful enough that for a new player, if you pull Amelia, she could probably stay on your squad for at least a little while until you get some of the really good units. Although if you're re-rolling, you know, some of your big targets are going to be things like Pilgrims, of course, you know, trying to get like Red Hood or, you know, Scarlet, Black Shadow Scarlet, Modernia, maybe even Dorothy, you know, but the one non-Pilgrim that's probably the most valuable reroll target is going to be Leader. So if you get her, she's just going to be a far, far better burst one if you reroll for her. But, you know, not everyone's going to do that, and not everyone is even going to be, like, reroll at all. And, you know, Ram is just going to be fun to use. You know, as I always say, you know, use the units that you like, and if you're excited about the ReZero collab, then you're probably going to want to use Ram anyway. Ram will probably also be one of the bonus units for the event stages, so you'll get better rewards based on what units you use in the event stages for the collaboration. So you'll probably get better rewards just by putting Ram on your team. So that's a thing too. Like I said, kind of interesting unit, and I think she will be useful, at least initially, for newer players, but I don't think she's doing anything crazy here, and I don't really expect her to affect any high-level accounts. But yeah, so that is our last collaboration unit. If you missed my skill analysis for Rem or Amelia, links to those in the description below. Make sure you subscribe for more Nikke videos and all the news you'll need on the ReZero collaboration. I'm going to do like a new player tips and tricks guide really soon here as well, and I will hopefully be streaming later this week, probably some bonus streams as well, doing some collab stuff. I'll be dropping a video as soon as the update is done, if I can get my phone working. So if you guys watched my last video on Rem, you'll know that's a whole thing. I'm actually currently backing up my data right now here off screen, so hopefully that works, and we'll see what happens with it tonight. But anyway, either way, videos are going to be coming at you, and I will catch you guys in the next video or stream.